Hi, first graders. Today I'm going to read you a story called Be My Neighbor with words of wisdom from Fred Rogers. The authors' names are Maya Ajmera and John D. Ivanko. Before we get into the story, I want you to take a look at the cover. First of all, what is a neighbor? Your neighbors are the people who live near you, who live in your neighborhood. And if you look at the front cover, you will see that this is a real photograph of real people. This book that we're about to read is going to give you true information, real photographs of real people. So do you think that means that this is a fiction book or a nonfiction book? If you said nonfiction, you are correct. This is nonfiction. It's not fantasy. It is real. So let's get started. Words of wisdom from Fred Rogers. Now, first graders, Fred Rogers is a man who had a TV show back when I was a little girl, and he had lots of positive messages and lots of wonderful things to say. So these are some words of wisdom from him, Fred Rogers. On our television program, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, I sing, "Won't you be my neighbor?" Neighbors are people who care about and help each other. Sometimes they live in the same real neighborhood, but they can also be neighbors even if they live far away. They might live in a different country where people talk differently or wear different clothes or eat different foods, but they can still be our neighbors. They can still be people we care about just because they're human beings. Every person in this world started out as a baby needing food and diapers and a place to sleep and most of all, love. In fact, every person started out just like you. As different as we are from one another, as unique as each one of us is, we are much more the same than we are different. Your neighborhood is a special place. A neighborhood is where you live, learn, grow up, play, and work, surrounded by your family and friends. Each and every neighborhood is a special place. Yours might be in the mountains, along a coast, or somewhere in between. It might have important historical sites, such as a monument or the home of someone famous. So first graders, take a look at these pictures. This book is filled with photographs of neighborhoods from countries all over the world. And each page that we look at, it might be hard for you to see, but it's going to have the name of the country in each photograph where that photo was taken place. So this country here says Israel. This one says Papua New Guinea. This one says Oman. And this one says Spain. It may be part of a village, town, or big city. Neighborhoods around the world can look very different. Some neighborhoods have lots and lots of people in them, while others have only a small population, such as those on a remote island, in the country, or high up in the hills. Some neighborhoods are made up of a few buildings in a town or village, while others stretch for miles and miles and are part of a big city. This label says China, Canada, and USA. That's our country. Every neighborhood is made up of lots of different people. Your neighborhood can be made up of people of all ages, interests, and backgrounds. Some members of your neighborhood may live like you and your family, and others may have different habits and customs that are celebrated in different kinds of festivals and community activities. The post office, town square, places of worship, and sports fields are places where people from your community come together. First graders, let's go back to those words, habits and customs. Have you ever heard those words before? When we talk about habits and customs, we talk about the things that make your community and your family special. We all eat different foods. Some people might speak different languages. All of those are part of your habits and customs. Down here, this label says South Africa, USA, Vietnam, and up here we have Mexico. And lots of different homes. A house can be just for your family, or it can be an apartment in a large building where many families live next to one another. Houses can be made from different materials such as wood, brick, glass, or even mud, grass, or rocks. In places where the weather is cold, houses are made to keep you warm, like here in Seward. In warm climates, homes are built to keep you cool. No matter where you live, houses are for making you and your family comfortable, dry, and safe. Down here, our labels say Japan, Mongolia, Philippines, Mali, Bahamas, and Turkey. Neighborhoods also have schools. There are many kinds of schools in your neighborhood. Some are large, and some may be as small as just one room. Sometimes school is held in your house, like right now, first graders. Schools are important because they help you learn and become more helpful to your community. Down here, this label says Mauritania, China, Cuba, Brazil, and Kenya. Places to worship. Your neighborhood often has one or more places to worship, depending on the religious beliefs of the people who live there. You might go with your family to a large cathedral, synagogue, or mosque. You may have friends who go to a temple or worship in their home. This word up here is the word worship. Have you heard that word before? People go to all different places depending on their religious beliefs. Some people go to cathedrals, maybe synagogues or mosques. We have lots of different churches here in Seward, and some people stay home to worship. Our labels for these pictures say Thailand, Iraq, Brunei, Jamaica, and USA. Places to play. Parks, plazas, streets, and backyards are all places to play in a community. If your neighborhood is near a lake, a river, or an ocean, you and your friends might go swimming, fishing, or boating. Swimming pools, ice rinks, and sports fields and playgrounds are places especially made for having fun. Here's a picture from Mexico. This one's labeled France. This one's labeled Belize. And here's USA. This is what some of your yards look like right now. And places to buy the things you need. Many neighborhoods have markets, restaurants, shopping malls, or grocery stores to buy what you and your family need. Some places are large with lots of different things for sale, while others are small, selling only specific items like bread or cheese. You can even create your own place to sell something homemade to others in your community. This picture looks like a market in Mexico. This one's labeled France, and this one's USA. This one kind of looks like our Safeway. There are lots of ways to get around your neighborhood. Buses, cars, trains, boats, and big trucks are some ways that you can get from one part of your neighborhood to another. For short distances, walking, biking, or skateboarding are also good ways to get around with your friends. By sharing rides or using public transportation, you meet other people who live in, work in, or visit your neighborhood. Look at all these pictures, different ways that people are getting around. This picture is from the USA. This one's from Costa Rica. This one's from Thailand. This one's from Argentina. And this one's from India. Neighborhoods have special events and big celebrations. Special events such as anniversaries, block parties, or local festivals let you join other people in your community to celebrate and to share in some fun and great food. Parades, cultural events, and national holidays are other big celebrations that bring a neighborhood together. This picture is from the USA, I can tell from that flag. This one's from Russia, this one's from India, and this one's from Spain. That looks similar to our Halloween. In your neighborhood, you share responsibilities. I'm going to pause right there. That word, responsibility. Do you know what a responsibility is? Your responsibilities are things that you do, that we all do, to help make our neighborhood and our community and our world a better place. Some of your responsibilities might be picking up trash, recycling, and now wearing your mask when you're out in public. That's our responsibility. People who live in the same neighborhood often work together to make it a better place. You might join your neighbors to clean up a river or work with a youth group to plant trees in a park. Neighbors look out for one another, perhaps helping someone find a lost dog or picking up fallen branches after a big storm. There are also people in your neighborhood whose job it is to take care of you. Doctors, police officers, firefighters, and mail carriers, for example. This picture is from USA. This one's from Japan. Here's some kids cleaning the floor. This is another one from the USA. This one's from Denmark. And this one's from the United Kingdom. And help out your family and friends. Your family often counts on your help, perhaps with growing fruits and vegetables to sell at the market or taking care of the lawn when you are old enough. Babysitting, feeding neighbors' pets while they are out of town, or reading with an elderly person are neighborly ways of helping other people. This label says China. This one says Somalia. This picture's from India. This one's from Togo. And this one's from the United States. Look at each of those pictures. How are those children helping? They're each doing something to help out their neighborhood. Your neighborhood is where you feel at home. Neighbors have in common the place where they live. You celebrate your neighborhood because you're a part of it and it's a part of you. Your neighborhood is a place where you learn about cooperation, respect, and friendship. It's the place you call home. Look at this sweet picture. This one's from France. This one's from Guatemala. This one's from South Africa. And this one's from Romania. All of those places look very different, but the communities still work together. Be my neighbor wherever you live.